So there you go, guys. You already know what's UK, that's United Kingdom. What's NMC? Nursing and Midwifery Council. What is
And once that the NMC allows you to take the exam, then that's the time that you can book for your CBT.
their portal? They already learned about their results. So it's that fast. Hi guys! March 2021. This time, we already have 10,000 YouTube subscribers. Thank you so much for patronizing our videos. In the last 6 months, we had more than 45 videos already. That's why we thought of something new. What else has 9.09er not offered to our subscribers? We've done features on IELTS, OET, PTE. We also discussed ways on how to apply for a visa and going to any of the 6 English-speaking countries: US, UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland. We featured recruitment agencies. We featured Filipinos who are now citizens in these countries. Just to give you an idea, majority of the people now taking IELTS and OET are nurses planning to go to the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That's why, for our next video, we're going to feature a former IELTS reviewee. She passed the examination in 2012 with a score of 9 in reading, 8.5 in listening, a 7 in writing, and an 8 in speaking. And then, she joined Niner 6 years ago as our IELTS coach. Then, we prepared her for OET when OET became accepted in UK, Ireland, Australia, and New Zealand. And then in 2018, she took UK NMC CBT. So that's our topic for now: how to prepare for UK NMC CBT. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Iza Garcia. Hi, Miss Iza.
Hi, Sir Ervin. Hello, guys. I'm excited to share my knowledge about the CBT and the mechanics of the exam so that all our nurses who are attempting to go to the UK for greener pasture would have better opportunities and chances of having their dreams come true.
So there you go, guys. You already know what's UK, that's United Kingdom. What's NMC? Nursing and Midwifery Council. What is CBT? Computer-based test. So if you're going to the United States, you need to take NCLEX. Well, NCLEX now is also accepted in Canada and Australia. NCLEX for now is not accepted in the UK as they have their own version of this medical examination which assesses your knowledge. So first things first, Ms. Iza, kindly give our audience and our subscribers an idea of the overview, the basic things that they need to know about UK NMC CBT.
Well, of course, I'd be glad to help you to inform them about that. Well, actually, the computer-based test is just the first part of the test of competence that the NMC requires candidates to pass. So there are actually 2 parts of the test. And the first part is the CBT that they can take anywhere in the world as long as there's a person view center that is offering that exam. And then the second part is the OSCE, or the objective structured clinical examination that they can only sit once they're in the UK. So the CBT is a computer-based test, and it will be assessing the candidate's professional knowledge regarding, of course, nursing.
Guys, you heard Miss Iza correctly. If you're going to America, Canada, or Australia, you don't need a practical examination. But in UK, it's an entirely different story because you need to pass 2 nursing exams. The one that assesses your medical knowledge, it's CBT. The second one, OSCE, Objective Structured Clinical Exam, which you can only take when you're already in the United Kingdom. Nothing to worry because in our future videos, and hopefully we can also upload it this March, we are going to feature former Niner coaches, former Niner lecturers who already passed CBT, rather OSCE. They're in the UK right now. So we're going to do that via Zoom. So later, we're going to talk about the tips on how to ace OSCE. But for now, we're going to focus more on CBT. So Miss Iza, in the Philippines, how often is UK NMC CBT offered?
Actually, it's offered regularly from Monday to Friday, and the availability of the exam highly depends on the test center. Here in the Philippines, we have two test centers. We have Person View, and another is MySnet, and both are located in Makati. And actually, the availability depends on the test center. So remember that Person View and MySnet, they don't just run the CBT alone, the UK CBT alone rather. They also run other exams that are computer-based. So you have to check first the availability of the exam by logging on to Person View. But Sir Ervin, they need to keep in mind that they're not going to be able to book an exam without registering at the NMC portal first. Okay, so keep in mind that before you get so excited to book the test, it is imperative that you log on first to your NMC portal and make sure that all requirements are uploaded. And once that the NMC allows you to take the exam, then that's the time that you can book for your CBT.
That's the case in Metro Manila. Pearson View and MySnet are both located in Makati. Are there other testing centers in the Philippines aside from Makati?
As long as there's a Person View testing center, sir, they can actually have access to the exam.
Before the pandemic, I'm 100% certain that you can also take UK NMC CBT in Cebu. Now, we just have to do our research and check if they've resumed conducting examinations in Visayas. But if my memory serves me right, I have never encountered anyone who took UK NMC CBT in Mindanao. So this is just a little inconvenient for my fellow Mindanaonons because you still have to go to Cebu or Manila for you to take UK NMC CBT. So we're done with the overview, we're done with the test date, we're finished with the venue. What about the examination fee? How much do they have to prepare or do they have to shell out for the CBT?
Well, when I took my exam, it was 130 British pounds, but now they actually made it a bit cheaper because it's only 83 British pounds today. So that's roughly 5,600. So guys, just keep in mind that, of course, the value would change from time to time depending on the exchange rate.
Do you use credit card or cash?
I use a credit card, but I believe that debit card is also acceptable. No cash payment is allowed. Everything is done online.
Guys, don't check the Google exchange rate because that is not the charge of the credit card companies. So you might be surprised because when the bill comes out, you're paying a little more as compared to what you're expecting. So once again, a friendly reminder, please don't look at the Google exchange rate. So for now, it's roughly 80 Great British pounds, right?
83.
83 GBP multiplied by 63, something like that. Kindly check the latest rate of your credit card company. What about the availability of result? So in OET, they have to wait for quite some time. If it's computer delivered IELTS, real quick, 3 to 5 days, 5 to 7 days, results are out. But what about CBT, Miss Iza?
Well, actually, it's a bit faster than the IELTS as well. Even I was surprised as well because I remembered that I received my results 5 hours after my exam. So usually, if you open the NMC portal, in the instructions, it says there that the email of your result will be sent to you within 48 hours. Now, within 48 hours, the NMC is supposed to send you the result of your exam. Now, give them, last year, we had some problems with this one because of the pandemic. There were delays with the results. But I believe this time they make it a point that they email it within 48 hours. Now, that is via NMC portal. Now, if you want to see the immediate result of your CBT, you can actually access your person view. And once that the test center has sent NMC the results, sometimes it's just after 10 minutes you can already check if it's uploaded.
This is the thing, guys. Some of our reviews messaged us that, okay, examination is over. They're on the, let's say, 15th floor or 10th floor of the building. And then, when they took the elevator going down to the lobby, when they checked their portal, they already learned about their results. So it's that fast. You don't have to wait for 2 weeks. You don't have to wait for 5 days. In just a matter of minutes, if you check your portal, sometimes the results are already available. IELTS is graded numerically, where 9 is the perfect score. In OET, A is the perfect score. In UK NMC CBT, is it also graded this way?
Oh, definitely not, because the CBT is actually an objective exam and it's a multiple choice format. So they are to answer 120 questions, okay? And they need to pass at least 68% of those questions. So 82 out of 120 is the passing rate. Now, the multiple choice exam would only be composed of 4 choices, so they are not going to be required to enter 2 answers because it's just 1 answer per question. And also, the exam it has a time limit, so they could take the exam for a period of 4 hours, which is actually quite long. Okay, so that's how it's going to be like. And out of 120, again, 83 points would be the best and the safest score to have.
Most of the English examination results are valid for 2 years. What about CBT? Is it also valid for 2 years?
Yes, it is valid for 2 years as well. So if you want your application to move forward, it is very important that once you have passed the CBT, you continue with all the requirements so that you don't get to miss the opportunity to immediately process everything.
Most English exam results are valid for 2 years. What about UK NMC CBT result, Miss Iza? Are results also valid for 2 years?
Yes, it's valid also for 2 years. And once that it expires, you have to take the exam once more. So usually you don't get to take it anytime that you want if it's expired already, because you have to wait for an authorization to take the test that will come from NMC.
Okay, let's move on to recheck. In IELTS, OET, PTE, TOEFL, it's possible for you to apply for remark or recheck. What about the case in CBT? Can you also challenge the grade that you initially got?
Unfortunately, no, because the CBT is actually a multiple choice exam that is objective. So the approach is either you get a correct answer or an incorrect answer. There is no partial score. So once that the results have been published, you cannot challenge it. What you can do instead is to take it again.
Okay, there you go, guys. Recheck is not an option in CBT. Now let's move on to your personal experience. Most IELTS candidates usually prepare for the exam for 2 to 3 months. For OET, it's the same. Well, Sir Marlon for TOEFL said he prepared for roughly 30 days. What about you, Miss Iza? How long did you prepare for your CBT?
Well, actually, I believe that the preparation for the exam can be done in half a month, because we have to keep in mind that the test takers are nurses already, and they have already knowledge of nursing. They have the skills. They are equipped with the background as to how nursing skills are done, and also the actions that are required. So it's more of just a review of the difference of what the setting is here in the Philippines compared to the setting that they have in the UK. In terms of reviewing, I would say I reviewed for 5 days straight, and that's from 7 in the morning until 1 in the morning again, because I work better if my mind is cramming. So during that time, I really made sure that I would tend to absorb everything. But the advantage of nurses who are practicing here is that they already know the basic. And in my case, since I haven't really practiced nursing for quite a long time, I believe I took more time than what's required.
So guys, Miss Iza here is telling us, if you're currently working in the hospital or if you've been working in the hospital for the longest time, it might be easier for you because you're already familiar with the basics, the fundamentals. Well, Miss Iza is saying it might take a little more preparation if you're not practicing in the hospital because you have to go back to the
The base.
the basics of nursing practice, nursing fundamentals. Let's take a look at the tips that you'd like to share. So Miss Iza passed her IELTS and her CBT on her first attempt. Because IELTS is essentially an English examination and CBT is a nursing knowledge exam. What are the tips that you'd like to share our candidates for them to pass their CBT in their first and last attempt?
Well, I believe the first tip that I'd like to share is patience, because reading a lot of questions is not really something exciting to do. And in the preparation, candidates are actually required to read a lot of questions and answer those questions from time to time. So practice is the key, but definitely patience is the one thing that will be tested here. And another thing is that I know that there are actually a lot of resources for CBT that's out there online. And the tip that I would like to share with you guys is that you need to make sure that you're also basing your answers on the correct, let's say, book, because we have the Royal Marsden as the book that is where most answers are based from. So sometimes there are released answers that are not even accurate. So even if you get to be exposed to 1,000 questions, if you don't know the right rationale as to why that's the answer, it's actually quite useless. A lot of test takers tend to just memorize the questions and memorize the answers without really understanding the why behind it. And sometimes that's the problem, because when you read a question, you have this idea in your mind about a certain answer, and then you don't get to process the meaning. You just choose what you think is the answer based on memory, but then afterwards, if you don't really think about the reason behind a certain answer, then sometimes it's just going to be considered an incorrect answer.
Well, some of our nurses have passed the NCLEX. So they're asking, can we use our NCLEX references and materials in preparing for CBTS? Both of them are nursing exams.
Well, not really, Sir Ervin. As much as I would want to say that it's a yes, I really do not recommend it, because the NCLEX review materials are designed for the kind of setting that we have in the US. Compared to CBT, most of the acceptable norms and actions regarding procedure, nursing approaches, they actually would be depending on the Royal Marsden. It's actually a book that comprises everything that nurses should know. So it's quite kind of different. I really do not recommend that they read US-based books for the CBT.
Well, I'm not a nurse, but I've been working with nurses since 2006. So imagine every single day I am with registered nurses. And here's an interesting tidbit I've learned. So in the Philippines, as well as the United States, we call it OR, or the operating room. However, in UK, I understand it's an entirely different term, right? They usually call it as
a theater.
Theater. So if you use US-based references in preparing for UK NMC CBT, you might be confused because when you read the questions, oh my God, what is a theater? Or in the Philippines and in the United States, we usually call this ER, emergency room. But in the UK, I was told they have a different term for that, right?
Yes.
And it's
A&E.
So there you go, guys. Even if you've passed NCLEX, it might be challenging to take UK CBT and depend on your US references. So the suggestion of Miss Iza, it's Royal Marsden. That's the reference material. And so For our last question, well, I'm a member of various groups on Facebook, and I've read recently that there are upcoming changes in UK NMC CBT. So, Ms. Iza, let's inform our audience of the changes that they're supposed to expect soon.
Well, the changes are supposed to take place this April 2021. But because of the pandemic, the NMC actually have decided that the board have decided that they will move it to August. So we still have a few months before the change will take place. Now, regarding the changes, the CBT is going to be divided into two parts. Part A will be numeracy, which will be mostly calculations and numbers that might appear a bit challenging for some, okay, especially for those who are not really practicing nurses. But then again, the good news is that there are formulas that you just need to follow. Now, the second part is more of an application part, but still, it's gonna be based on clinical knowledge.
So there you go, guys. If ever you're taking the examination before August, you have to be familiar with the old mechanics, the old guidelines. The new system is expected to take effect by August. So it's a matter of knowing that this recording was done in March 2021. If you're taking the examination after August 2021, make sure that you are updated. Once again, this is Sir Ervin of 9.09er featuring Miss Iza, who passed both IELTS and CBT. Hopefully, you are able to get vital information that will help you in preparation for your UK NMC CBT. After all, we are here to help you achieve your goal of going to the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Once again, this is 9.09er.
Thank you for watching our videos. For more contents, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also like the channel so that you get to be updated with our latest contents. Thank you guys and see you!